Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will overview the country of Brunei. Okay, located on the northern coast of the island of Borneo in Southeast Asia, Brunei was an economically powerful and wealthy country. Most of its funding comes from crude oil and natural gas export, with earnings from the petroleum industry accounting for more than half of GDP, has been of the rise since 2021. The potential causes the inflationary surge come from both the supply and demand sides, with many of them being shared globally.
Okay, next, the relationship between population and inflation in Brunei has been studied, but the direct impact on the country has not been extensively studied. While some studies suggest demographic changes like population aging could reduce short-term inflation while increasing long-term inflation, these findings are not specific to Brunei's economic landscape. Future research on the Bruneian economy is needed to fully understand the relationship between population dynamics and inflation in the country.
So next, national income in Brunei. In terms of environmental sustainability, the relationship between economic growth and environmental pollution in Brunei has been investigated, with findings supporting the existence. However, the national economic growth in Brunei is influenced by multiple factors, including oil prices, trade opens, urbanization, and macroeconomic variables, highlighting the complexity of Brunei economic landscape. Next, main sector contributor in Brunei. The primary contributor to Brunei economy are the oil and gas industry. The oil and gas industry serve as primary source of income for the country. For instance, the oil and gas located in Salman conventional oil field in Brunei. The public sector and the services sector are also play the important role in driving in economic growth such as education, health, and transportation. For example, of education is in University Brunei Darussalam in Bandar Seri Begawan.
So we move on national debt in Brunei. So national debt in Brunei requires management to ensure fiscal sustainability and avoid potential debt traps. Brunei is a rentier state that relies on oil and gas production. National debt in Brunei requires a comprehensive understanding of the interconnected factors.
Okay, next is inflation in Brunei. It means that customers can expect to pay for more goods and services for the rest of the year due to the COVID-19 epidemic's impact of Brunei economy. The central bank updated its inflation projector for 2020, now projecting a range of 1 to 2%. According to AMBD, the credit risk of borrowers in the transportation and tourism sectors is expected to rise in the short term. However, the pandemic's impact on the two sectors will have a moderate impact on the country economy.
So for the next one, I would like to talk unemployment issue in Brunei. So the first issue is limited diversification result in a skill gap. This issue arises when economy in Brunei only focus in one thing, which is oil and gas sector. The second issue is Brunei has a lack of skill in workforce that requires by industry. The last one is economy in Brunei is too reliable on oil and gas sector. So we have talked about unemployment issue. So now we talk how to overcome the problem of unemployment issue. So for the fiscal policy, uh, fiscal policy in fiscal policy can stimulate growth and create job opportunities in industry. It also can prioritize investment in education and skill development programs to reduce unemployment. So the next one is overcome the problem of unemployment in monetary policy. So the first one is central bank can adjust interest rate to encourage borrowing for business expansion. It means that many people will make loan from the bank and make their own business. So the unemployment rate in Brunei will decrease. So the second one is lowering interest rate and increasing the money supply. The third one is make credit more accessible and provide better loan term for small business. And for small business expand their business, so it will help the economic growth.
Okay, next, the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly impacted the socio-economic conditions in African countries, including Brunei. The West African Economic and Monetary Union study highlight the pandemic impact on inflation through income and demand. Why not directly addressing inflation and unemployment in Brunei? This insight provides context for understanding the pandemic's potential effects. Understanding consumer inflation expectation during the pandemic is crucial to comprehending how individuals' inflation expectations were affected. While direct research on the pandemic's global impact on inflation and personal characteristics is lacking, understanding this factor can help in assessing the potential effect on Brunei's inflation.
Okay, impact of government stimulus package on national debt. Studies state the relationship between government debt and economic growth, highlighting the long-run microeconomic impact of outside deficits and the rescue of banks in fighting economic downturns. The effect of government debt on economic growth is positive in the short run, becomes insignificant at a moderate level of government debt, and thus negative at their high levels. The literature addresses the potential trade-off and consequences of government stimulus package that addresses economic downturns, emphasize the importance of carefully considering the long-term consequences. So next, overcome the problem unemployment in Brunei. First, fiscal policy. To lower the inflation rate, Brunei government can limit public spending. A reduction in government spending can help inflation within acceptable limits. They also lowered the rate of national petroleum spending that focus initiatives that stimulate economic growth in ensuring of the well-being of the people. Second, monetary policy. AMBD has taken several measures to address the problem of inflation. The government of Brunei through AMBD has taken several steps such as structuring of loan and personal financing and rental purchase facility with a period not exceeding 10 years.
Okay, for the last one, we move to the conclusion. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to inflation in Brunei, with rising costs exceeding initial expectation. The government is monitoring groceries, store prices, and promoting open pricing among local sellers. Reducing corporate tax rates could address unemployment and improve production outcome. Brunei's stable exchange rate with the Singapore dollar may boost confidence and attract foreign investment. I think that's all from us. Thank you.